run out of asteroids, and now I want to trigger that change to the next level, where instead of having just 3 asteroids, it's going to have 4 asteroids, and 5, and then 6, and then 7, as I get through each level. To do that, I'll head back to the game controller here, and I'm going to add a new rule. But wait, before I do that, I have to add yet another attribute. This attribute is going to be called level complete. It's going to be not an actor, but a game level attribute. And instead of being the traditional integer that we always use, we're going to use a Boolean. Now, you may or may not know, Boolean just has 2 values, true or false. So we're on or off. I'm going to give it a cool name, something like level complete. Cool. I'll just leave that blank for now. Great. Now I'll do this rule. So add rule, and I'm going to call this rule change level. And this is where sometimes it's a little tricky, and be super careful here. You have to delete this thing right here. Get rid of this. We do not need it. All right. That's kind of unusual. We don't do that often, just occasionally. And if we make a mistake here, it can be pretty annoying. So remove that. And I want to do an attribute comparison right there. Got that? Okay. So now we're going to do game.asteroidCount. This is an old attribute, not the new one we just made, is equal to 0. In other words, there's 0 asteroids, right? Then I'm going to do a change attribute right here. So there's the change attribute. And I'm going to take the new one, game.level complete to, it's got to be either true or false because it's Boolean true. So when the asteroid count is to 0, then the game level complete, the level complete is true. It's no longer false, it is true. Got it? Next up, I head over to loop spawn. Let me close this. Spawn asteroids here. And I need to add in, so in this loop right now, the loop will run if the asteroids spawned are less than the game.level plus 2, right? But I want to add something else in here. So I want 2 conditions before this loop is going to run, all right? So I'm going to add an attribute here, attribute comparison, and that's going to be game.level complete is, and you probably guessed it, true. So these 2 things have to happen before this loop is going to run. That's taken care of. Now continuing on, we're going to add yet another rule here. I know this gets this is a lot of work just to get something to level up by 1 and to add a bunch of new asteroids. But this will save us again the hassle of having to go back and forth here on these scenes and making like 500 different scenes. This way I can have infinite numbers of level. So it's a little more of an advanced coding technique, which you guys are totally ready for. I'm going to add a rule here. And I'm going to call this rule all asteroids spawned. All asteroids spawned. And as usual now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And as you might have guessed, I'm going to do an attribute comparison instead. So let's get rid of that condition there. And I'll do an attribute comparison. And so when the attribute game.asteroidCount is equal to game, got to click on the expression editor. I always forget that. Right here is equal to game.level plus 2. Let's find the level here. There it is. Plus 2. Hit update. Then I want something to happen. And what I want to happen is to do a change attribute. Oh, let me go down here into the, I think that popped into there. Let me drag that out of there. Good. You gotta be careful. Those things will jump in like that into those rules. When you add new rules, it drives me crazy. Then I'm gonna do a change attribute here. And it's gonna be game.level complete to false. So that means the game is still going, all right? So if it's a game asteroid count is equal to game.level plus 2, that means the game is still going. So this keeps the game going, and then when we run out of asteroids, it will trigger the next set of asteroids to go, and basically what we would call another level.